Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. It's PSG versus Arsenal, and it is the second leg of the second semi-final in the Champions League. PSG have a 1-0 lead over Arsenal with their win at the Emirates last week. So let's go ahead and preview and make our predictions for the second leg. Courtesy, I'm gonna say it at the start of the video. I'm an Arsenal fan, so there may be a bit of biasness involved here, but I would try to be as neutral as possible. We're gonna start with PSG because they are the host and they have the lead over us. I think they were amazing in that first leg, and I mean the way that they pressed Arsenal, I think that shocked Arsenal quite a lot. I don't think that Arsenal expected a PSG to come out of the blocks that way, and they to try to press them as high as they did. I mean, we expected them to to play like that, to play that pressing style, but they were they pressed extra 20 to 25% in that game, and I think that caught Arsenal by surprise, and I think that caught Arteta by surprise. He got completely outplayed by Luis Enrique in the first 20 to 25 minutes. I think it took Arteta a lot of time to maneuver his troops around in that first leg. So he would hope that he can counter that in the second leg and be ready for that type of pressing in this game. For PSG, I would say like the squad is perfect at the moment. They are the form team. They are the home team. They lost over the weekend to Strasbourg. This was their second consecutive defeat in Liga, where they have not lost the entire season. But of course, they switched a lot of players in that game. They rested most of their players for the clash against Arsenal. The main question was for Ousmane Dembele, whether he was going to be fit because he suffered an injury last week. He started training. He was seeing pictures and videos of him training with the squad, so he might possibly start. Even if he does not start, he can come off the bench, but I think he's going to start. I think he looked quite fit. If that is the case, that's a massive advantage to PSG, because he's been so crucial. I mean, he scored 25 plus goals only in 2025, so that shows how much of a good form he is on at the moment, and that is going to give a PSG a massive boost. Plus, as I said, they are the home side. The stadium is going to be packed, and that is going to help them a lot. But the one thing that PSG is going to be wary of as that they have lost against English sides this season on their home stadium, so that is going to be playing on the back of their mind, whether they are going to see a repeat of that. Anything less than an Arsenal victory could be easy for PSG, and could send Arsenal could send them to the final. Anything apart from an Arsenal, I mean, that's what PSG would be hoping for. They would be happy with a draw as well, but I don't think they're going to go for a draw. I think with the talent that they have and the players that they have and the way that they played against Arsenal, I think they are going to be the team coming into this game. Even though, as I said, they lost over the weekend, but as I said, they really did not have any, most of their main players were not playing. They were rested, and we can make sure that his team is well rested and well prepared for the game. So I think they are going to come in this game with a lot more confidence and a lot more strength as compared to Arsenal, and I think that is really going to help PSG in that regard. Coming on to Arsenal, I mean, the biggest thing that Arsenal are going to be happy about is having Thomas Partey back. I mean, him not playing in that game was basically ruined Arsenal's formation. It made the team out of balance. They had to switch it up. Rice had to come back, had to play deep. Merino was brought in instead of striker. Trossard played in that striker role, and that really affected Arsenal's counter-attacking in terms of playing against PSG. They played a low block style, and they wanted to hit PSG on the counter attack. They were not really able, and one of the biggest reasons that the press hurt Arsenal a lot was they were not really able to hit the long balls. Raya was not able to take the long shots because Trossard was there, and he was unfortunate. Trossard is not really going to be able to match up with the PSG defenders and try to win the ball, try to win a header with them. He might get lucky 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 times, but 9 out of 10 it is going to be the PSG guys who are going to win the header. And so it was not a useful idea for Arsenal. It was not a useful alternative for Arsenal. Instead of playing out of back, and to try to do that, they did a couple of times. It did not work, and then, as I said, they had no other option than to try to play out of the back and try to play the way that they normally play. So having Thomas Partey is going to be such a huge thing for Arsenal. Him having back, having him back, sorry, is going to help Rice go ahead and make those runs, make sorry about that. Make those runs, go into the box, and crowd the box as well, put PSG under pressure as well, Rice makes those late runs. He's sort of like Danny Olmo, and we saw what Danny Olmo could do in tonight's game against the Inter. When these midfielders like who make those late runs, they have become very problematic for the defense to deal with other players around them. So having Rice having that freedom is going to be big for Arsenal, because Thomas Partey is going to be a side back, so Rice is going to make those runs, and that is really going to help Arsenal. And I think Marino is going to be playing the striker role, and that helps Arsenal a lot as well. They can play those long balls, from the wing backs, because they have this target man who can knock him down, and that can help. His control is really good, and that is really going to help Arsenal in that regard. Just having Thomas Partey, I think that is going to make the balance of the team quite better. Trossard or Martinelli, one of them is going to play the left wing. I don't know which one. Of course, Saka is going to play the right wing, and Odegaard, who there have been so much talk about Martin Odegaard this season, since the start of 2025, since he has come back from injury, especially after last week's game. There was so much talk about Odegaard, and I love the guy. I think he's an amazing player. He's going through a rough patch of form, but there are reactionary people out there. After every single game, they need a new target to latch on to. So now it's Odegaard's bad time is going on. This was the same player, people who were on it about Rice. They were the same people who were on it about Marino. So and yeah, you have fans like this in all the clubs, so you don't really bother replying to them on caring about their opinions. But of course, Odegaard is having a bad time, and Arsenal really need their captain to step up. I think the game is going to be played with the same sorry, I think the game is going to be played with the same way, same intensity that it was played last week. I think Arsenal are going to come in, and the problem that I had with Arsenal, in my opinion, last week's game was they were very slow. Their passes were very slow. They were not really quick enough. I know PSG's pressing was really good, but I still think that Arsenal were quite slow with their build-up. They took a lot of time. It gave PSG, especially after scoring that first goal, it gave a relaxed PSG, quite a bit. And I think they need to be really quick about in tomorrow's game if they really want to go ahead and win the game. The fact is Arsenal, they have the amount of talent that they have. They can still go ahead and do it, and they can win the game. There is no question about it. And PSG, same thing, like they can easily thrash Arsenal, if I'm being very honest with you. So it is going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to bring out a lot of goals like the game between Inter Milan and Barcelona did over 2 legs. I don't think we are going to see that many goals. We saw the evidence in the first leg. I mean, PSG could have easily won that game at 2-0, 3-0, and Arsenal themselves could have scored a couple of goals, but none of them were able to really go ahead and take advantage of that. So we ended up 1-0. That is why the tie is still close, and that is why I still think Arsenal are Arsenal have the chances. I could go ahead make 2 predictions with my heart and with my head, but I'm gonna go with the prediction of my heart, and I think it is going to be a very tight game. I'm going for a 2-1 win in a normal time for Arsenal, so that makes it 2-2 on aggregate, and then I think in extra time Arsenal are going to win it with another goal. So in total, I'm going for a 3-2 Arsenal win on aggregate. That's from me in this video. Let me know what you guys think of the game. What is your guys' predictions? Do you think PSG are gonna sustain it and go on to another final after 2020, or do you think Arsenal are gonna make it to their first final after the 2006 final? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. Before the end of the season. Sorry, not the end of the year. Before the end of the season. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.